Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show, where we break down all the major news headlines you need to know about heading into your weekend, heading into your workday, wherever you may be going on this fine Friday, or just going in your next podcast after you disembark from the Bald Brad Show in the next hour or 2 hours, most likely, because we always break down the news and we do it big here. We do it big, and we're not a normal morning show. If you want a boring, lazy morning show that's not energetic, this is not the show for you, baby. We bring a punch and we bring it in big time. Yes, it is 6 a.m. where I'm at. How the hell am I doing it? Well, folks, we drink a lot of coffee here on the show. Now, if you didn't hear the news, because maybe you're under a rock or something, you have Israel striking Iran. Now, I've been told it's called Iran. Yeah, shut up. That's how we say it in America, okay? I'm West Coast boy, okay? I'm a West Coast beach boy. I'm a beach bum. It's Iran. Well, we broke this last night. We had hundreds of people watching us last evening, so thank you to everybody that showed up. It was a big boom, and just want to say, I called it. Yes, I'm going back to the receipts because I'm tired of being called a warmonger. I'm being tired of being called this or that. And surprisingly, while I'm going to show you this, made amends last night. Went on a TikTok live with a mega influencer last night, and he brought me and another guy together. So you heard of the guy that was bashing me. Well, now we're friends. So we went from bashing each other to now we're besties. So I will cover that as well in this whole Middle East topic. So if you all recall, 24 hours before Israel bombed Iran, I promise I will get to the receipts of everything, including updates for you. I got a lot. I'm going to throw a lot at you. So get ready, you guys. Oh, there's a lot of information I got for you. A lot of updates. And I'm not kidding. You're going to be, oh, stop it, Brad. This is too much. It's too much. That's what she said. Now, I called it. I said, hey, something big's going to happen in the Middle East.
Is about
24 hours before.
Pop off and something big is brewing. The United States just ordered embassy personnel and military families to evacuate Iraq. CENTCOM bases are activating emergency protocols. And why is this all happening? Well, I guess the nuclear talks with Iran have collapsed. Tehran's calling negotiations a strategic trap, demanding permanent sanction relief while reinforcing underground nuclear sites. This isn't peacekeeping, it's war prepping, folks, and it gets worse.
Huh. And you know what I was called? I know y'all seen it. I know. You know what I was called? Oh, you're a warmonger. Oh, you're World War III fear-mongering. Fear sells. Oh, shut up. I was right. And I'm always right. That's the thing. Now, not always. I got to be fair with myself. Calm down, Brad. You're getting a little too egotistical, aren't you? You're getting a little too crazy, aren't you?
First, Iran's defense minister just warned they have access to U.S. bases and will strike if provoked. Meanwhile, satellite intel says Israel may be gearing up to bomb Iran's nuclear facilities. You feel that? That's tension. That's the spark before the fire. America's military isn't just watching. We're pulling people out, repositioning, and preparing. Iran's bunkering in, the United States and Israel are posturing, and the world, everybody is on edge watching nervously right now. If things go sideways, this won't just be another headline. It'll be a flashpoint. Stay alert, share this with your friends.
Was I not dead on? Based on everything you guys saw, was I not dead on? Jason, thank you very much. You called it right on. Exactly, sir. Thank you for the pat on the back. I'm just out here by myself, Jason. It is nice to get some recognition I deserve. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. No, seriously. It sounds like I'm being a smartass, and partially I am. But thank you, because I'm getting tired of being called names. It'll blow over. It always does. Cut the fear-mongering. Oh, really? Yeah, it's always I'm a fear-monger. So anyways, did a video, and that blew up yesterday. So no joke, as we were streaming, I said, hey, guys, I'm going to take a quick pee-pee break really quick. And I just went and recorded a TikTok video and it got 230,000 views. That's how we do it here. Now somebody's saying, well, Brad, why didn't you just have somebody else upload it for you? And that way you could have kept streaming still and stuff. You didn't have to walk away. Because I'm the only person here that does this. I don't have producers. I don't have a big freaking mega corporation behind me, baby. Now, here's the other receipt. And a lot of you know this because we get a lot of regulars in the show, so thank you for always showing up. I appreciate you. God bless you. Did I not say that if there were to be an attack on Iranian nuclear facilities, did I not call it? Don't you make me pull up the damn receipts. That Israel was going to be the one to do it and not Donald Trump. Did I not call it? You all were here. And I hand me to God, I will go through the transcripts of all my videos and find it because I know I said it multiple times that I was hearing rumors and sprinklings that it wasn't going to be Donald Trump that was going to do it. He was going to have Iran do it for him. And some of you know that's damn true. I got you, baby. And that's why you continue to show up because your boy shows up. Here we go. The Israeli Air Force struck Iran on Thursday night with explosions heard in Tehran. It's unclear which targets Israel struck. Oh, no, it's not. Not when I get into the updates, it's not going to be. And when I say I got a list of updates. List of updates. Israel Defense Minister declared a special situation. It sounds like Karine Jean-Pierre. Throughout Israel for the next 48 hours due to a high probability that a retaliatory attack would occur. Now, before I got off stream last night, there was sprinklings and rumors, and we showed video of it, of Iran scrambling fighter jets. And then late last night, because I stayed up to try to figure out what the hell was going on in the news. That's why your boy looks so tired. I stayed up late last night, and rumor was that Iran had launched like 100 drones or something, but it was going to take like an hour or two to get there. And I'm like, I got to do a show in like 2 hours. I can't do this. So I'm not sure if those were taken down. I know Israel was trying to meet them at some intersection and take them out. But we'll see when I get to the updates here, because some of the updates I'm not even aware of. Before the strikes, U.S. Ambassador of Israel, Mike Huckabee, tweeted that he would remain at the embassy all night, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Huckabee said, responding to a tweet from the State Department encouraging American citizens in Israel and the surrounding regions to be cautious. Earlier, so here's his tweet right here. Badass Mike Huckabee. I like that. The guy's not, he's like the guy from, he's Mel Gibson from We Are Soldiers. I'm going to be the last one to leave. I'll be the last American troop on this Vietnamese soil. Earlier on Thursday, President Donald Trump said that an Israeli attack was something that could very well happen, but said he preferred on diplomatic approach to prevent Iran from having a nuclear weapon. Now, here's the thing. In Donald Trump fashion, you're all going to love this. It's real. By the way, it's going to... I'm laughing because when I was making my coffee before the show... I was laughing just like this in the kitchen all by myself. Like I'm fucking crying. I look crazy. Oh, fuck. Calm down, Brad. Calm down. I'm so giddy to share this with you. You might not even laugh, but I fucking thought it was hilarious. So I'm making my coffee, as we do. Cheers. And so, you know how Donald Trump wants to have meetings about making sure that they don't do their nuclear program? So he still wants to. So Trump still wants to meet with Iran to negotiate this whole thing out. And I just picture Trump calling them up after they were bombed and going, I'm not going to be able to fucking do it. So they just got their shit pushed in last night, right? Like, no joke. When I get into the details, it's a pretty nasty strike. So, are we still good for Saturday? They just sent Trump the voicemail. It's Ayatollah Khamenei. He doesn't even call him that. He just go, this is Trump, your loved president. I heard some things went south for you. Just wanted to know, are we still on for Saturday night? Could you imagine? Oh God. Yes, I was acting like this in the kitchen. Fucking butt crack, dude. It's still dark out. And laughing my ass off as I'm watching the coffee maker. I don't even know why I go like that. Coffee maker doesn't do that. Oh shit, fuck. All right, well, where are we? Oh my God. Oh. We got more. Shit. So we got live updates. Okay, this is where I'm going to throw a lot of information at you, okay? So be prepared. Be ready. And by the way, we're trying to stream on Kick right now. So I'm trying to get that stream working, but Kicky no likey. So we'll have to figure that out. But we are over at Kick, and well, it's giving us a kick in the tushy because it does not want us to stream there. So maybe actually I'll just kind of turn that off for a bit. We'll see. All righty. So here is updates as of 4 hours ago, and then I'm gonna kind of go. You know, actually, let's go the other direction. Let's go this way. So I'm gonna start at, because some of you weren't with us last night. So let's just start at the beginning. Are you guys? Hopefully, you're gonna have to be cool with that because I'm the one running this ship. You don't tell the captain what to do. Here we go. Guys, we're going through this whole thing because I want to make sure you're fully aware of what the hell's going on. Now, the nice thing about utilizing the Daily Wire is they have contacts in the IDF. They also have contacts, boots on the ground. They got contacts everywhere over there. Here we go. So over 100 drones fired at Israel. Okay, this is 4 hours ago. What the hell? Hold on. Okay, maybe they just spammed it. Okay, all right. Adi. Over 100 drones fired at Israel. So this is where I left off then last night on the news. I was actually still watching Steve Lochner. That's Jared Lochner. Steve Lochner, who we were watching last night while we were streaming. The guy does a phenomenal job. Israel's Home Front Command lifted an order that civilians remain close to bomb shelters after more than 100 Iranian drones failed to harm Israel. So it looks like they were intercepted. The IDF said it has control over the situation after Iran's first retaliatory attack. None of the Iranian drones have reportedly made it to Israel's borders. Both the IDF and the Jordanian Air Force reportedly intercepted some of the drones. Wow, they got the Jordanian. They got the Jordans in there. Holy shit. So here's some footage of a secretive Iranian nuclear site believed to be significantly damaged. We showed you this clip yesterday. But there's some big explosions. The big boom booms. Now, if some of you are curious, I actually speak the language. Let me backtrack here really quick for you on this video. Holy fuck! Holy shit! They're bombing the fuck out of us! Holy shit! As the jets are flying over, fuck! Whoa, shit! Sorry. Word for word, yes. And one of Iran's key nuclear sites is believed to have been significantly damaged in Israel's strike on Iran. Remember, these things go deep underground. So I was, when we were hearing reports last night that was taking place, was that the updates kept coming in and some people were confused because they're like, well, you guys just bombed that. So why are we getting updates again, like breaking news that you're attacking the facility again? My thinking is that the Israelis were trying to get deep into the ground to damage the facility that, again, is deep underground. So that's the only thinking that I have. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We target Iran's main enrichment facility that we just showed there. Furthermore, Israel built drone base in Iran to launch attack. So I don't know if this is the old Ukrainian playbook is what we're calling it, or the Ukrainians stole this from the Iranians or the Israelis. I'm not exactly sure, but I guess Israel's attack on Iran was more sophisticated than anyone could have imagined. Well, I don't know, because Israel put explosives in pagers, which is freaking some spy operation badass, by the way. It's just badass. And then if you recall, remember the guys were like the Hamas was having their hands blown up and their peepees because they put their pagers next to their wee-wees, and they blew all that up. And then Hamas was like, holy shit, Ahmed, what do we do? How are we going to communicate? They're like, cell phones. Like, they're going to hear us. We can't use cell phones, Ahmed. Mohammed, we can't do it. They're like, okay, walkie-talkies? Perfect. They'll never get us there. And then they had explosives in the walkie-talkies. Just, loud and crew, boom. Didn't even get a chance to barely turn it on. So involving, you have here a sophisticated that could have imagined involving the construction of a secret drone base near Tehran and the smuggling of weapons and personnel into the country. Oh my God. The reason why this is crazy is because one of the talking points right now, and what we saw on Fox last night, was Israel's going to have a tough time keeping up this kind of initiative because of the distance between the two countries. You know, you're talking a few hours. And a lot of people are wondering, well, how'd this get through airspace? There was a lot of craft in the air. So how did this all kind of take place without the Iranians knowing? Because it was allegedly catching them by surprise. And we'll get more into that again as time goes on here. Again, I got a lot of updates for you. Mossad agents reportedly deployed precision missiles near Iranian anti-aircraft sites. The covert base was used to strike Iran's missile launchers, preventing an effective defense or immediate retaliation by the regime. According to the IDF, all Israeli Air Force pilots and air crews who participated in the attack on Iran were unharmed, which is called 100%. Wow. Damn. And what's cool about these updates, you guys, we actually have footage here. So IDF releases footage of strikes on key sites in Iran. So let's see if we can pull this up for you. 1 second, please. This is what this looks like. That looks like a thing with missiles on the back. Oh, wow. We are getting actually the missiles footage. Cool. Coming in. Oh, wow. It's actually pretty good footage, man. Damn. Strike on surface-to-surface missiles in Iran. Oh, come on, guys. Let's get the good stuff. We got color. We got color. Gee, Jesus. Strike on weapons in Iran. You don't think you could have uploaded the 4K? We know it's 4K. This is all 4K. You don't think you could have uploaded the good stuff, the good quality? Come on. Anywho, there you go. That's the footage for you. That's always cool. I like seeing things blow up. It's fun. Now, Trump is still pushing for Iran to make a deal. I told you. I told you. Before there's nothing left. Certain Iranian headliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They're all dead now, and it will only get worse. So here's Trump's, this is new, by the way. I haven't seen this one. I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they knew, anticipated, or were told. That the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world, by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, with much more to come, and they know how to use it. Yeah, I would say so. When you guys, you have to understand, please, they were going after people with precision strikes in like apartment buildings where, folks, it's a missile. So even if you try to take out one apartment, you're going to take out 4. It's still a precision strike. I mean, you're talking a matter of feet getting this thing correct. And that's what they did with one of the scientists, the top nuclear scientist that Iran had was blown to bits in his apartment. Now, sadly enough, his wife and children are involved as well. That's what's terrible about it, is actually innocent people were killed. Some would say that the scientist himself is innocent. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They're all dead now, and it will only get worse. There has already been great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there's nothing left and save what was once known as an Iranian empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it before it's too late. God bless you all. Well, I don't know, Trump. He's pretty pissed. You pissed him off. Well, not really Trump. It was the Israelis. But as I've mentioned, Trump knew about this ahead of time. Now, how do I know that? Well, I said this yesterday, that I had some sprinklings of how I know it, and that would be Trump heading on his way to the Kennedy Center to see Les Miserables or whatever it's called. And somebody asked him, hey, Trump, why are you pulling out people from the embassies, military, and family and stuff from like Iraq and nearby bases and stuff like that? Like, why would you be doing that? He goes, I guess we'll have to wait and see. And, 15 hours later, you saw this. Now, Trump also said that he knew ahead of time too. So that came out like late last night. Hezbollah looks at what Israel did and goes, I think we're good. We're going to stay out of this one. That was crazy. Little pussies. Yeah, look at Hezbollah. Hey, Hezbollah has no nuts, do they, huh? Yeah. Look at these. They don't want no part of it. Yeah, I bet, buddy. I bet you don't want nothing to do with this. Yeah, I don't like Hezbollah, dude. A little friggin' terrorist. A Hezbollah official said the terror group to the north of Israel will stay out of the conflict between Israel and Iran. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I think we'll stay out of this one, Ahmed. Yeah. You think? Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. All righty. Well, this guy's dead. This guy's gone. Dead. All righty. Well, there's the updates for you. We'll see. Just kidding. No, we got way more. You thought we were done. That's it, Brad? Really? No, we got more. The IDF kills IRGC Air Force commander. The IDF announced that it killed the commander of the IRGC's Air Force. Now, the Iranian, what is it called? The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps or something like that. This would be like their top. This is like their top military crew and like one of their top military guys. This would be, from my understanding, this would be like Pete Hegseth. Okay, basically being wiped out. So last night, basically think about J.D. Vance and Pete Hegseth and maybe like one or two other cabinet members being wiped out is how I would portray it. Now, some people wouldn't agree with that, and that's fine. But if you were to correlate it to if somebody were to attack us, that's how I would portray it. I mean, they got railed as leadership in Iran last night. They got their you-know-what pushed in hard. So that's, again, I think that's a good analogy. Some people, again, I want to just be clear, might not agree with that analogy. That's okay. You don't have to agree with everything I say. Welcome to the world. Overnight, the intelligence directorate identified that the senior chain of command of the Air Force of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps had assembled in an underground command center to prepare for an attack on the state of Israel. As part of the combined opening strike, IAF fighter jets struck the command center where the commander was. Fuck. So they're going in going, we're going to kick the crap out of these Israelis. And they're all meeting up, coming up with a little plan, right? With their little maps, with their little sticks and stuff, pushing the little army men. And just boom, just nailed them. Look at all these people gone. You have the commander of the UAV force. You got the commander of the aerial command. You got another dude that was eliminated. I mean, they struck everybody. The IRGC's Air Force is responsible for repeated attacks against Israeli civilians, notably whatever that word is, and his subordinates commanded Iran's direct missile and UAV attacks against Israel on October 2024. Wow. In addition, the senior officials who were eliminated led the attack on Saudi Arabia's oil facilities. Ooh, now, why? You got to ask yourself, why do they put in Saudi Arabia in this? Do they have something to do with this? Trump was just over there. The timing of it all is very, very interesting, isn't it? You got the little prince over there and Trump making amends with one another. Not even really amends, a bromance. And Trump's being walked around as a king in Saudi Arabia. Would the Saudis say, Mr. Trump, I would love for you to take out these people? And Trump's like, I'll see what I can do. I'm in really good cahoots with Benjamin. You know Ben, right? You know Ben. Ben's a great guy. We'll have Ben bomb him, maybe? You cool with that? We'll have Ben bomb? I'm wondering if the Saudis have their hands in this, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I don't think any of you would be surprised as well. So Israel continues strike. This was going on. They did multiple strikes. The Air Force is still striking Iran. Yeah, for like hours. And by the way, people are saying this conflict's going to go on for weeks. This is not like a one and done. Israel is preparing for a response from Iran, which I believe would have been the drones themselves. We're expecting, obviously, another retaliation. And we're not just expecting retaliation on Israel. The Supreme Leader did come out, and we'll get to it in a moment, did come out and say, look, the United States, we're coming for you as well. Even though Marco Rubio was like, hey, we had no part in this. Trump had no part in this. And, which I guess we kind of did. Trump's like, look, we have the best military assets in the world, and they were just used to kick your ass. Trump's like, we had no part in this, though. I don't know who's Israel? Who's Benjamin Netanyahu? No clue. Never heard of the guy. So we're still good for Saturday. God, that's still one of the best jokes, man. Oh, God. So here we go. Here's a little bit of an animated video explaining the attack that took place in the facility last night. God, they come out with stuff so fast nowadays, don't they? Look at this. Is there audio on this? There's no audio. Okay. So let's see what took place. They're flying. Meow. And we're zooming in. Fucking flying it on. Oh, shit. That's not a nuclear facility. Are you kidding me? Come on. That's clearly farmland. That's farmland. Oh, these Zionist scumbags. Look at that. That's farmland. Look at that. That's where the corn is grown. Yep. That's where the wheat is. The cabbage. The strawberry fields. Unbelievable. Can you believe this? Obviously, I'm being a smart ass. It's a big ass facility, man. Is that the facility I showed you guys? Why don't you have... Come on, you can do any voiceover on this. Give me a break. This is pretty good. This is like pretty good video. Damn. I thought we'd get some BS like little 3D animation stuff. This is good. Wow. They put this together fast. All right. Well, kudos to them. Shit. Better than we can do. Better. Way better. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that like button for me, please. That thumbs up button over at Rumble and YouTube, it does help tremendously. Get our videos sent out to viewers who haven't seen our content or our channel, so all help is greatly appreciated. And again, we're kind of increasing in viewership, we're increasing in views, and I think a lot of that's to do with TikTok and all the fine people over at X and everything. We are growing as a community here. Always love that. Alrighty, again, hopefully you're okay with me going through these updates, you guys. If that's too boring for you, I apologize, but I think this is important you know what is going on and how we very well could be dragged into the middle of this. Trump ain't going to put up with crap. We could very well, I'm not saying boots on the ground, please understand that. That's not what I'm saying. But, we got some craft, we got some aircraft carriers over there and very easily could go and, strike. What's crazy is, again, this strike that took place allegedly wasn't just on nuclear facilities. And that's what everybody thought would happen, was that this would be on nuclear facilities. No. No, they went after residential areas because that's where these nuclear scientists were, allegedly, and also struck the Capitol. So that would be like us getting hit in Washington, D.C. Iran restricts internet access. This is interesting. The Iranian regime restricted citizens' internet access on Friday, according to the Iranian state media. Now, that makes sense because last night I was wondering, I was like, man, there's no footage coming out much of what's happening there in Iran. Guys, you saw me last night. I was a keyboard warrior. I was like, give me some footage. Where is it? I'm like looking left and right for hours. And I even said, I go, where? It's like, nobody recording this? Do they not have cell phones there? I was being a smart ass, but not in the sense of why are they not recording this? Well, they probably couldn't get it out. Can you imagine if Elon just goes, okay, I'm sending Starlink over too. Trump calls Elon. Hey, I know we had a fallout, but would you mind sending Starlink over there for daddy? Okay, thank you, Elon. Just know I love you. When you get over your temper tantrum, daddy's still here. Okay. Yeah, okay, I love you. Bye. Iranian president, we will not remain silent. So here we go. Iranian president said the Iranian nation and officials will not remain silent. Well, some of them will be. Some of them are going to remain silent because they're gone. They're dust. They popped. Yeah, so it's just, I hate to be a bearer of bad news here, but some of them are going to remain silent. In response to Israel's strike on Iran, calling them a crime, the Islamic Republic of Iran's legitimate and powerful response will make the enemy regret its foolish act. This is what everybody's waiting on to see what happens here. Everybody's waiting to see. To be fair, I thought it happened quicker. And I don't know if that's just the time that we live in, where we expect things to be instantaneous. What I mean by that is, as something's burning, like it just got blown up 15 minutes ago, I expect aircraft to be taking to the skies and already going to Israel to start bombing them. Because you would think that there would be some sort of contingency plan saying, hey, if this were to happen, we're going to put an Operation Red Phoenix or something like that. And so all you do is you pick up the phone and go, Operation Red Phoenix initiate. And you go. And they're off within like 10 minutes. That doesn't seem to be happening ever. So, wishful thinking. Trump tells ABC News that Israel's strike on Iran was excellent. This is a major shift. And I'm going to Jonathan Karl here. This is a major shift in kind of the words that were being used last night by the president. And before I go to that, why don't I bring up this for you? So let's go to Marco Rubio from the State Department, because I want you to see what he said last night. Did he not upload it? Let me find it on my profile here. If you're not following me X, you might as well, well, there's a plug for myself. Here we go. Okay, this is what Marco said last night, like right after the strikes took place. Tonight, Israel took unilateral action against Iran. We are not involved in strikes against Iran, and our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. Israel advised us that they believe this action was necessary for its self-defense. President Trump and the administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain close in contact with our regional partners. Let me be clear, Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel. And kind of the messaging was that we had no involvement in this. So if we had no involvement with it, don't come at us. And it was kind of, hey, let's kind of sit back and let Israel do their thing, and we're not going to support them. And Israel came out and even said themselves, hey, we don't expect any support from the United States, because there was a poll, and let me find it for you, on Charlie Kirk's site last night. And the reason why I want to use his poll is not because I just trust him, but because a lot of his followers are, they love Israel. So here we go. Should the U.S. get involved in Israel's war with Iran? This was about 85% all night, jumped up to 88.5. This is with over 300,000 votes from people that are support of Israel. So this is a good indicator. If it's 88.5%, you would expect probably that proportion to be somewhere around maybe even higher. I don't know. Again, if this is a lot of pro-Israel people getting involved. So we'll kind of keep you updated on the polls of what people want. But if Trump's usually not wanting to get into the mix of things, but based on what he's saying, he's kind of egging some stuff on here. Trump reported told ABC News that Israel's strike on Iran has been excellent. We gave them a chance. I really did, John. I gave them a chance and they didn't take it. They got hit hard, very hard. They got hit about as hard as you can get hit. And there's more to come, a lot more. It just hits different in the Trump voice, doesn't it? They got hit as hard as you can. I said, holy shit, oh my God, Ben, you hit them so hard. As hard as you can get hit. By the way, there is definitely truth to that. These strikes were just remarkable. And I'm not, please don't feel like I'm praising Israel on all of this. It's just remarkable the technology that's out nowadays that can really just strike somebody with such precision within the matter of inches. 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. Trump posted, they should have done it. Today is day 61. Oh, boy. 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. It could have been a good deal, the best deal, the most punchy deal. They should have done it. Today, is day 61. I told them what to do, but they couldn't get there. Now they have perhaps a second chance. God, dude. Fuck. This could really spiral. And again, so what time is it there in DC? So 9:37. So about an hour and a half, Trump will have a national security meeting. His security meeting scheduled at 11 a.m. So late last night, that was the only thing on his schedule today. He did convene with the cabinet members last night. I know you're like, man, he convenes with his cabinet members all the time. You're just not used to that because Joey never did. And when he did convene with his cabinet, he had his wife do it for him. So Trump is always meeting with the cabinet members. Everybody was in the room, and that was late last night. And to throw a little bit of a punch here, late yesterday, CNN, I know, but other people reporting this early on as well, that here, why don't I pull it up for you? What's his name? Here we go. This is only one of many that were reporting this. Let me see if I can find it for you. Here we go. So Justin, Iran is set to officially declare war against Israel per state media. Now, I don't know what state media that is. I don't know if is that Israel state media? Is that Iranian state media? But I'll say it again, America must stay out is what he's saying. Now, this is somebody that kind of does what I think a lot of people do. I do this as well. They kind of embellish it to create some drama, but the substance of pretty much everything they're saying is true. So I haven't seen any rumors, or I should say rumors. I haven't seen anything official come out that says we're going to declare war. Would not surprise me with this kind of strike. I think you almost have to with the amount of people, the leadership that Israel took out is just, it's big. It's huge. So Fox News reports Israel tricked top IRGC Air Force leadership to meet before strike. This is crazy. So this is coming from Jennifer Griffin. Let's go to this X post. So new reporting from Trey Yingst. So Trey is the person we see a lot, who is I don't know if he's a contributor or a designated reporter. He's usually boots on the ground in Israel. Guy just wrote a book. Really love listening to him talk. He's kind of the most up-to-date person. What the hell's going on? Israel security officials to Fox News. On the strikes against IRGC Air Force leadership, Israel tricked the top command of Iran's Air Force into a meeting and then kept them there. Quote, we did specific activities to help us understand things about them and then use that information to make them act in a specific way. Damn. Whoa. We knew this would make them meet, but more importantly, we knew how to keep them there. Wow. You got to give it to the Israelis here. They are freaking tactical and strategic, and they will plan. They're already probably planning things for like a year into the future. This is incredible. Oh, you Zionist, you love in Israel, Zionist. You know, just because I'm giving somebody props for having the freaking strategic plan like this would take us 20 years to do. And that doesn't just come from me. Nope, no, I got to show you the receipts. You know, I know you guys trust me at this point. It's like, okay, Brad, we get it, man. You read it somewhere. You have it. We fully understand. So here's Sarah Adams. Where was she? Where did she say it? It's somewhere here. Hold on a second. There's a lot. Here we go. Where is it? I saw 20. Where is it? She said herself, this would have taken us 20 years to execute, basically. It's somewhere in this thread. There's so much going on here. It's in here somewhere. I promise. Oh, God. Please show up. Anyways, if you read her thread, I'll actually just copy her thing. You guys can find it yourselves. I got a show to run. But you can find it. She talks about that this is something that would have taken us like 20 years to do. So people were kind of getting on her for posts and stuff about this, and I really want to find it now because now it's gonna bug me. Maybe I already passed it. You guys are probably screaming, "You already passed it, you idiot!" Anywho, all right, we got to go back to the live. So here's Jennifer's thing. We knew this would make them meet. So one, overall, the strikes were more successful than the Israelis even expected. They're like looking around like, holy shit, did that just happen? Did we get it right? Targeting of personnel in less than 15 minutes, more than 20 sites, including apartments and offices, were hit to take out individual targets, separate from the strikes against nuclear facilities and missile sites. 3, the intelligence for this ramped up over the past year, So this is how long they've been planning this stuff. You have air defense systems and ballistic missiles that were going to be used against Israel were preemptively targeted. Man, just a massive intel operation over there. And this is honestly kind of one of the reasons too. I know people are like, oh, let Israel defend themselves. Let them figure it out. I've always said they're like an aircraft carrier in the Middle East for us. The intel that they have on all the surrounding countries that don't like us is, you just can't put a price on it. So basically, let's just say, and I don't wish this to happen. This would be god awful, and I think everybody would agree. Let's say Israel got wiped off the face of the earth, which is what Iran and other people want to do, by the way. That's why they can't have a nuclear weapon. Israel's not big by any stretch of the imagination compared to any place around it. It's like a neighborhood. So you got a nuclear warhead, you just wiped out the entire state of Israel. You kind of need them there. So let's say you wipe them out. Well, who do you have to give you intelligence? Who do you have? You can't rely on the Saudis. Look, a lot of you are pissed off at the Saudis for allegedly have involvement in, 9/11. They allegedly had involvement in other assassination attempts. I mean, the Saudis have their hands dipped in everything. You can't really trust them. You can't trust a lot of the nations over there. I look at Israel as a tool. I mean, I want them to survive, Jewish people. In the same way, I don't want to see Iranians die. I don't want to see anybody die. But you talk about one side, all of a sudden, oh, you're beholden. Oh, you love these people. Oh. Like, can I just report the news without being involved? So this is what I saw when I woke up this morning. Axios is reporting that Trump was publicly pretending to oppose an Israeli strike on Iran or attack on Iran. Now, I don't know if I fully trust Axios, but it says where is it? State of play. The U.S. side has not confirmed any of that in the hours before. So 2 Israeli officials claimed to Axios that Trump and his aides were only pretending to oppose an Israel attack in public and didn't express opposition in private. We had a clear U.S. green light. Now, that's not a smart move by Israel, especially when Trump is trying to stay out of it. So who knows who these 2 officials are? Trump could have had a very clear message to Benjamin Netanyahu saying, look, go ahead and do what you have to do. Totally get it. We don't want any involvement in this. That could have been the conversation. So I could tell you can look, I could be giving somebody financial advice. I used to be a public accountant. Sitting across from the table, I'm doing somebody's taxes. They ask me some sort of personal finance advice. And I say, you know what? Based on what's going on right now, I highly recommend you not go buy a car. You could do it, but I don't recommend you doing it. You could do it. Or saying, yeah, I do support this, but I'm not really for it, but not that you should do it, but you could do it. You could do all those different phrases, and that would be like somebody's going to do it anyways. They're going to greenlight it. So I could be, yeah, you could do it. I kind of am for it, but I don't know if I would do it. It's probably not the smartest thing to do, but you could do it. Should you buy a new car? No, but you could do it. You want to go blow up the Iranians? Yeah, you could do it. You probably shouldn't do it, but you could do it. The goal, they say, was to convince Iran that no attack was imminent and make sure Iranians on Israel's target list would have moved to new locations. Netanyahu's aides even briefed Israel reporters that Trump had tried to put the brakes on the Israeli strike in a call on Monday, when in reality, the call dealt with coordination ahead of the attack. Okay, well then this is kind of like Trump's like, pump the brakes, man. Holy shit, this is going to get nuts. The U.S. said, the U.S. side has not confirmed any of that, of course. Marco Rubio, you guys already read that comment from him. Hours later, Trump confirmed he knew the attack was coming and stressed the U.S. had no military involvement. So it's kind of a wish-washy. I think the communication needs to be a little bit more clear here in terms of Trump's side. It's like you support the thing or you don't support the thing. Just come out and say what's going on so everyone's clear here. But I think we need to stay out of this. I think everybody agrees. Look, we're trying. Our cities are being attacked by invaders themselves. They're called illegal immigrants, and it's happening everywhere. We got stuff to figure out here. IDF spokesperson says forces acted to stop Iranian major assault. So here we go with this one.
There's a clock on their capital counting back from 2040 because that's the goal they set for themselves for the destruction of Israel. It's a public goal. Every Iranian knows this. And we were able to eliminate the three most senior commanders in charge of that in a simultaneously attack in different locations. We were able to take, as you're showing on the screen now, to take away their aerial defense systems. We have been able to have preemptive strikes on ballistic missiles that were about to be fired towards Israeli civilians. So far, we've seen a lot of success. We've seen success on our attack on Natanz, on the largest nuclear facility in Iran, attacking in places Israel has never struck before, deep within Iran. But this isn't over. There's a.
We got that there for you. Looks like we're coming to the end of the updates here. So you're like, okay, Brad, can we move on? We'll get there. So Trump tells CNN Israel had a very successful attack. There you go. I don't think we need to let's go into it. It's tickling my interest. I just spoke with real Donald Trump, says Dana Bash. Oh boy, Dana, she's terrible, isn't she? She's terrible. On the phone, the president told me the U.S. supports Israel and called the strikes on Iran last night a very successful attack. We, of course, support Israel, obviously, and supported it like nobody has ever supported Trump. He always does that. We, of course, support Israel, obviously, and support it like nobody has ever supported it before. Iran should have listened to me when I said, I gave them, I don't know if you know, but I gave them a 60-day warning before I was like, you're going to get your shit pushed in. And today's day 61, Dana. I gave them 60 days. Days, Dana. And we just blew them. Israel just blew them up. They should know. They should know, come to the table to make a deal before it's too late. It will be too late for them. The people I was dealing with are dead. They're all dead. The hardliners. So look at this comment he says at the end. Asked if this was a result of Israel's attack last night, President Trump responded sarcastically, they didn't die of the flu, and they didn't die of COVID. He died like a dog. I love him. I love Trump. God. And again, we only get 3.5 more years of this. It's not enough. I need more. I need more time with Trump. He's the great. I told you, we're going to be milking everything about Trump for the next 3.5 years. I voted for the guy 3 times. I love him. I don't care if you guys like him or not. I love the guy. I think he's fabulous. People get all Trump derangement, right? They start putting in their pigtails like, fuck it, I can't stand the guy. Yeah, well, whatever. I could care less. I love him. Oman condemns Israel's attack on Iran. Nobody cares. Nobody's heard of you before. You gotta love how all these small people come out. Well, we don't like Iran's attack. Nobody cares. Israel's unilateral attack on Iran is illegal, unjustifiable, and a grave threat to regional stability. Not the fact that the Iranians, the leading sponsor of terrorism on this entire rock called Earth, was developing a nuclear warhead in multiple of them. Yeah, that's not destabilizing the region in whatsoever or any shape or manner, nor is there their terrorist activity. Yeah, but we're going to condemn the people that don't like terrorism. Gotcha. See, I never see this. I never see these kind of posts from them when Iran supports terrorism. You guys notice that? You never see them come out and say, well, I think this is wrong. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen as much as it should. I condemn it and urge the global community to come together to reject Israel aggression and support de-escalation and diplomacy with one voice. I think there should be diplomacy. You're right. And so does Trump. That's why Trump was asking, hey, you available Saturday? You available on day 62, assholes? You ready? Do you think when Trump has the meeting over the phone with the Iranians, and he already sent them the voicemail, right? Are you guys available this weekend? After they just got their shit pushed in? Do you think when the Iranians are talking on the phone about, negotiation, Trump's just sipping his fucking Diet Coke in the mic? He goes, Did you guys start yet? Did you say anything? Just to fuck with him? Do you think he did that? Do you think he would? He totally would. He totally would. Sorry, I was drinking my Diet Coke. Do you guys have those over there? You know what Coke is? Oh, it's phenomenal. American product, American ingenuity. RFK, sadly enough, is trying to get rid of all the chemicals in it. I love the chemicals. It keeps me going. It's what makes me immortal. Immortal. God. So, IDF spokesperson says... God, I hope you guys are going to... Are you guys having as much fun as I am? Are you guys having a good time here? Let me know in the chat. Say yes, no, maybe so. Ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ling-ling. Let's put Coke back in Coca-Cola. IDF spokesperson says, you're welcome to the world after crippling Iranian regime. Oh, man. We're almost done. Here's the last few updates. Netanyahu to speak to Trump. Prime Minister's office stated that he has been engaged in discussions with several world leaders, including Germany, India, and France. He is also scheduled to hold talks with the U.S., Donald Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin, and the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And then IDF completes another round of strikes. So this is, oh wow, this is just while we were live. So this is about 39 minutes ago. We've been live for an hour. Here we go. So these two are the most up-to-dates that we have. Okay, folks, these are for you. The IDF released a statement announcing that it just completed another round of strikes on Iran. In the last few hours, Israel Air Force fighter jets, guided by precise intelligence from the intelligence dictatorate, completed a series of strikes against the Iranian regime's surface-to-surface missile array. As part of the strikes, dozens of launchers, surface-to-surface missiles, storage facilities, and additional military sites were destroyed. At one of the sites struck in western Iran, I say Iran, get over it. A unique launch mechanism was embedded within shipping containers. Wow, okay. Throughout the war, the Iranian regime has fired hundreds of surface-to-surface missiles towards the territory of the state of Israel. The destruction of missiles constitutes a vital mission in an effort to defend the citizens of the state of Israel. The Iranian regime's missile arsenal includes missiles with ranges of thousands of kilometers. Leaving these missiles in the hands of the Iranian regime poses a danger to the region and the entire world. So there you go. That is the most up-to-date stuff we have here. If you guys know anything different, let me know. But here we have it. Israel operation eliminated top Iranian military leaders and scientists. I mean, they messed them up, man. They really, really did. And I'm not being alarmist. I'm not exaggerating that. When Trump says they got punched and punched hard, yeah, this is a, I don't want to say it's a KO in the sense that you're not getting back up, but you're right now. They basically did one of those counts where it's like 1, 2, and like this guy on the screen's like, fucking what the fuck just happened? What the like he's fucking, he's face down, ass up on the tarp. He's on the tarp, he's on the canvas just like fucking drooling. He's like, what the fuck just hit me? He's still trying to figure it out. This guy's turban it's like launched into the crowd. All the Arabs are like, fucking, I got it. Woo! Stinky. Like they all have it. Wow. I know some of you are laughing at that. I know some of you love that shit. Oh, stinky. I'm going to say it now. And I don't care if was it narcissistic or self-aggrandized, whatever the hell you call it. I don't give a shit. We have the best morning show. We do. Easily. Not even close. The best morning show. It's only a matter of time before this show becomes the #1 morning show in America. I firmly believe it. We're too good. It's too funny. It's too energetic. It's too great. It's too awesome. So let's see what the Supreme Leader said. Let's see what this guy had to say. Let's see the words of wisdom here. Okay, so it says the Supreme Leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei. Now, these idiots on TikTok say, well, the Ayatollah died. He's not around. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Weird. Everybody keeps using the same thing I do, and I'm wrong all the time. Gotcha. responded to Israeli airstrikes in its first public message on Friday. The Zionist regime has opened its dirty and bloody hand to commit a crime in our beloved country at dawn today and has revealed its evils more than ever before by targeting residential areas. They did. That's where your scientists were. This regime must expect severe punishment. The strong hand of the armed forces of the Islamic Republic will not abandon it, God willing. So we're all expecting something big. The Khamenei confirmed that some Iranian leaders and scientists were killed in the Israeli strikes. He added that their successors and colleagues will return to their positions immediately. With this crime, the Zionist regime has prepared for itself a bitter and painful fate, and it will surely meet it. Hossein Salami, the commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, was killed by the Israeli strike, according to the Iranian state media. So this would be, and hopefully I'm not getting this wrong, but I believe this would be like the Pete Hegseth of Iran. Would be like taken out. So we saw that video that was released. That's nothing new. So those are the updates for you. So this is what the guy was that was taken out. So I can get rid of that. I'm gonna keep the updates up there, just in the happen chance that some breaking news comes out. If you guys see breaking news, please throw it in the chat for me as we're covering this as well. And thank you so much for giving me the time to display all the updates for all of you. I think this is something that we need to be aware of. And well, let's just face it, it's global news right now. Everybody's talking about this. So if you don't like that I covered an hour or more of this, maybe it's not the show for you. That's okay. There's plenty of other outlets that will probably be going over other stuff. It's not a big deal. I love you, but it is what it is. So this is the guy, the smug face. Well, he's dead now. He's gone. He's in pieces. So I guess earlier Wednesday, this is him. An Iranian outlet shared a video of Soleimani stating that Iran's next confrontation with the Israelis will be far more crushing, devastating, and destructive. Well, this didn't age well for him, did it? Boy, this guy's not around anymore.
برخورد آتی ما با صهیونیست‌ها از جنس وعده‌های صادق نیست، بسیار کوبنده‌تر، ویرانگرتر و مخرب‌تر خواهد بود.
So, there you go. There's a clip of that guy. So somebody posted on that same post. I mean, it was crushing, devastating, destructive, but not for the Israelis. Somebody said didn't age well. Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Somebody put salami all over him. That's messed up. Here's Benjamin Netanyahu having a beer and saying, fuck around, find out. They smoked the salami. Wow, what a freaking comment. Oh, they smoked the salami. Damn. That doesn't get the credit. Fabio, that does not get the credit you deserve, brother. That is good. Oh, boy. Smoked the salami. God. People are savage, are they not? Wow. Wow. Holy Lordy. So let's check this out. A statement from the IDF. Let's see if this is long. I don't know. I've already seen it, but all right. Sure.
Years, the Iranian regime has called for the destruction of the state of Israel, planning and advancing concrete military plans to do so. Over the past few months, intelligence has shown that Iran is closer than ever to obtaining a nuclear weapon. This morning, the IDF began preemptive and precise strikes targeting the Iranian nuclear program in order to prevent the Iranian regime's ability to build a nuclear bomb in the immediate time frame. We have no choice. We are operating against an imminent and existential threat. We cannot allow the Iranian regime to obtain a nuclear weapon that would be a danger to Israel and the entire world. This operation is for our right to exist here, for our future and for our children's future. The State of Israel has the right and the obligation to operate in order to protect its people and will continue to do so. The IDF conducted significant preparations for this operation. We are well prepared both in defense and offense to defend ourselves. The IDF will continue to defend the State of Israel.
There you have it. There you have it. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Alrighty. So we're not going to rehash the whole thing. I just want to, again, show you the receipts that Rubio says United States not involved, warns Iran against attacking U.S. personnel. So we're not going to break down that article or at least that statement again. But there's a reporting of it, and there's the statement. So again, this is something that was released last night at 6 p.m. So again, I think a lot of this was already like, I don't want to say pre-written or pre-planned, but in terms of our response. So let's go through some footage. Let's go through some footage here. By the way, I have the sound all the way up, just so you guys know. So this is stuff that's been vetted. No, that's not a bomb. That's just some guy with a campfire cooking s'mores.
اینجا رو زدن، اینجا رو هم زدن، این لویزانم زدن، پشتم زدن، پشت لویزانم زدن، اینجا رو زدن، اینجا رو هم زدن، این لویزانم زدن، پشتم زدن، پشت لویزانم زدن.
There's another one. This is a nice quality photo, actually. It's nice to get something of quality around here, huh? Jesus. Oh, Rikus. I don't want to die for Israel. Who the fuck said that? By the way, I met Gunny. I actually have a photo with him. I met him many years ago in person. He actually had a so many of you seen Full Metal Jack. I think this is Full Metal Jack if I remember correctly. He used to have a show called Mail Call back in the day that I just absolutely adored. Again, I love the military. So anyways, I met him and I got a photo with him when I was younger. I must have been about 17, 18 years old, maybe younger. And so anyways, he's obviously passed now. He has a really nice car, and his car was all black and just decked out in Marine Corps stuff, man. It was a really badass looking car. But anywho, really cool guy. The first thing I noticed was his eyebrows, as everybody else does. Big, bushy eyebrows. But really nice guy. Now, we have other news updates going on here. So it's not just what's happening in Israel. Now we're moving into other updates. We spent an hour on that. If there's anything else that's happening, again, I have updates on the side here for you. If anything comes in, I'll make sure I bring that up. So here we go. Get the hell out. California Democrats lose it during hearing, attacks Pete Hegseth because these people are crazy. I have tried to tell Democrats on TikTok that they're not well. I can't even say that on TikTok because TikTok deletes it. It's too rude because you're telling people they have a mental illness. They do, though. That's the problem. These people are psycho. They do have mental illnesses. We all see it. They're folks, just like 2 months ago, they were taking their hands and putting it in their ass and wiping their shit on Teslas. And then, and I know this because I watched it with my own eyes down the street, they were shouting at Teslas because there's a nearby Tesla, like just ways down. They were shouting at Teslas driving by and barking at them like dogs. You're not well if you're doing that. There's something off with you, But God forbid I call that out. It's no different than if you saw a guy trying to bite his own ear. He's like, there's something wrong with you. Or if you're shouting to the skies and you're talking to somebody that's not there physically and you're having a full-fledged conversation with them, you're not well. And you shouldn't enable that. But that's what we've done. We've enabled mental illness in this country. You can look at the trans issue. You can look at them trying to go after our children to lop off their genitals in the school districts and give them hormone enhancers and puberty blockers in the school districts by doing their gender affirming care BS and all that other stuff. People see this, and then the left goes, well, they're not cutting off their genitals in the school districts. You know what I mean? Stop playing stupid. You know exactly what I mean, that they're doing gender affirming care to lead them to that kind of destructive stuff. They always have to be right. These people, well, actually, in theory, it's not really the school districts that are doing it. If you really just analyze the situation of what's really happening is they have a school psychologist on site. And that school psychologist Well, they're really the ones that are in control of the gender affirming care. And what they're going to do is they're going to find a third-party vendor that works strictly with that school psychologist and the school site and probably the district itself. That's going to now outsource. They're going to outsource that gender affirming care. And when they go to that doctor, that physician's going to be the one that's going to guide them along that care. And they're going to issue those puberty blockers and those hormone answers. So you see, Brad, it's not the school that's doing it. Those idiots, of course. It's just, you deal with those people and you know exactly the people I'm talking about that pull that kind of crap all the time. It's annoying. Here's something annoying. Democrats. Well, they became increasingly unhinged during a House Armed Services Committee hearing on Thursday, attacking Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth directly and demanding that he get the hell out. Hegseth was on Capitol Hill for a budget hearing, but Carbajal used the opportunity to insult Hegseth. Oh, well, do we have a clip here? Of course we do. Of course we do. Here's another Democrat unhinged.
Do you think political allegiance to Trump is a requirement for serving our nation, either in uniform or a civilian in the department?
I'm incredibly proud, as are millions of Americans.
No. Not today, Hegseth. Yes or no?
Congressman, you know what a silly question that is.
But silly enough to warrant a very straightforward answer. Yes or no?
We all support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
You know what?
I'm
not going to waste my time anymore. You're not worthy of my attention or my questions. You're an embarrassment to this country. You're unfit to lead. And there's been bipartisan members of Congress that have called for your resignation. You should just get the hell out and let somebody competently lead this department.
Mr. Chairman, do we not have any decorum in here?
Thank you very much. I yield my time.
Gentleman yields back. And I would urge everybody to remember and maintain a decorum suitable for this chamber with their further comments. The chair now recognizes.
That is 100% a hairpiece. Is he going through cancer? Maybe I shouldn't be making fun of this guy. Is Mr. Rogers going through cancer? All right, I'm gonna refrain, because if he is, that's messed up. So I'm not even gonna comment. He might be. He might be. If he is, that's terrible, and I wish him all the best. But I'm just saying that's a hairpiece. I don't care who you are. I ain't wearing one of those. No, thank you, no sir. But if he does have cancer, then I hope he's well, or maybe he has alopecia. Hell, I don't know. So that was the fireworks going on there. So where's this guy from? Where's that Democrat from? Let me see really quick. Oh, anybody want to guess where he's from? Let's go to the chat, everybody. You pick. You got 50 opportunities here. What state? And don't you go back in the recording. Don't you cheat. I see what you're doing. What state is he from? If you had to guess. Now I already showed it, so it's not really fair. We're gonna see who's paying attention. No, he's just bald. Oh, okay. Oh, come on, you all cheated! Cheaters! He is from California. Yeah, my freaking state. Of course he is. Of course he is. I just want to be... Thank you, Karen. Karen says New Jersey. Karen's not paying attention. Your mom's state. Hey, George, get out of here with that. Is it George or is it Jorge? So it is California. My home state. Of course it is. Freaking A. Viral video claiming ICE raided a 5th grade graduation proved to be an outright lie. Wait, hold on. You're saying Democrats are lying again? I thought we were the liars, you guys. I thought we were the ones doing the cheap fakes, deep fakes. I thought we were the arbiters of misinformation and disinformation, and that it's the Democrats that are the ones that are spreading truth. Gotcha. Okay. It wasn't the Democrats that wanted to put forth what was called the Ministry of Truth to tell you what was truth and false. Okay. Yeah. Well, Los Angeles school worker took to social media to tearfully spout rumors of an ICE raid at a nearby 5th grade graduation ceremony. These rumors were proven to completely be false, but it doesn't matter. It's already out there. See, that's the thing. People have caught on that as long as you shout something to the skies, people are so stupid that they're not actually going to go research to see if it's real or not. In his original post, the school worker, who goes by Mr. Howie on Instagram, claimed the Gratz Learning Academy for Young Scholars was hosting its graduation ceremony when all of a sudden a bunch of parents have to run out because ICE is there. So here we go. Oh, here we go. This is almost like Jesse Smollett all over again, isn't it?
I can't handle this, y'all. This is crazy, yo. I didn't think this was about to affect me like this.
Oh, God.
But, our neighbor's school, y'all know I work at a school. Fuck. Our neighboring school, I think it's Gratas, I don't know how to say it. It's Gratas or something like that.
He doesn't even know his own neighboring schools? Are you serious? Okay. Already you're kind of like red flag, right?
They were having their graduation. And there's helicopters in the sky. Most of these schools are... Fuck, yo. Most of these schools are predominantly Hispanic. Most of these schools are predominantly Hispanic. Gratas, I believe elementary, was having their graduation. And all of a sudden a bunch of parents have to run out because ISIS is there. This is the story that I'm hearing. And, you know, our school goes on lockdown. Our principal, you know, tells us it's a drill, but we know it's not a drill. And, you know, I had to come outside. It's my break. We kind of got like off of a soft lockdown. And you know.
All right. There's another minute of this crap. I can't do it. Let's just get to the article itself. Parents had to run out because they don't have papers, and they had to leave their kids because the kids do. What type of bleep is this, yo? And then kids are freaking grabbing teachers and crying on their leg because they don't know if they are about to see their parents when they get home. What the F is this? And we voted for this shit? Yes, I did vote for this. 100%. I think people that are here illegally and are criminals, which are the ones that are being targeted, should leave the country because you committed a crime. I did, Jeff. I did. We'll get to it. I already have it queued up. It's right here. Jeff, your name is literally in the tab. And that is the video right there. I love you, Jeff, but I got you. The video gained traction across social media, and despite its virality, ex-users were quick to add context to the clip. Community notes beneath the post to the video says Mr. Howie is telling an outright lie and cited a Los Angeles Times fact check that stated there was no confirmed threat to Friday culmination of Gratz Elementary. Huh. Weird. Los Angeles Unified School District Superintendent also debunked the claims in a press conference on Monday saying, we've investigated it. All reports that came back was no such event happened. Oh, gotcha. You mean another person, another race hoax. Gotcha. Oh, okay. ICE is targeting the kids in schools. No, they're not. You're just spreading a bunch of lies, but that's what you have to do because there's nothing really bad that's happening. So you have to fabricate the bad things that are happening so that people get all upset and riled up. So you get more people rioting. Gotcha. So here is a clip that Jeff sent that is queued up for us. It's a little long, but I want to play it nonetheless. This is Jesse Waters from Waters World talking about these senators and starting their own riots, basically. Here we go.
Now Democrat senators are joining the riots. Alex Padilla, the senator from California, got handcuffed inside of a federal building this afternoon for lunging at a cabinet secretary. Kristi Noem was in Los Angeles giving a press conference about the riots when the senator barged in and ran at her, yelling and screaming.
Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your hands off.
How many of our ICE agents have been docked?
On the ground. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, I put them behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
Democrats must have known about the stunt ahead of time because within minutes, Newsom yelled dictator, and Congress burst out of their offices.
I just saw something that sickened my stomach. The manhandling of a United States senator We need immediate answers to what the hell went on.
As if made to kneel before the authority of the executive because he was so-called disrespectful. If you could make Alex Padilla forcibly kneel before this executive, when does it stop?
As a combat veteran, I want to know what this House is going to do, but because a senior senator was attacked, illegally attacked, and drugged to the ground.
MSNBC's acting like Trump fired on Fort Sumter.
This is a big escalation of what has been happening in California. Born to immigrants, he himself is the pride of much of the Latino community in the Los Angeles area. To see him manhandled in this way, like a common everyday protester, is going to be particularly jarring for many who are watching from California.
The senator wasn't arrested, wasn't charged, didn't go to jail, but was able to arrange a press conference immediately after.
If this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers out in the Los Angeles community and throughout California and throughout the country.
Was he almost crying? I think he was. Noam says if he wanted to ask her a question, he could have just called.
You know, I had a conversation with the senator after this. We sat down for 10 to 15 minutes and talked about the fact that nobody knew who he was. He didn't say who he was, that until he was already had been lunging forward and people were trying to detain him for quite a period of time. And that this, you know, we're leaders, we're public servants. And if he had requested a meeting, I would have loved to have sat down and had a conversation with him. That coming into a press conference like this is political theater.
The FBI says Padilla never identified himself and wasn't wearing his Senate security pin. And no one recognized him because no one knows who Senator Padilla is. He's the least recognized senator in the entire Senate. I'm sorry. So a guy wearing street clothes barges into a press conference just yards away from a cabinet secretary and starts lunging at her and screaming. Secretary Noam's security saw him as a threat, and he pushed the federal officers back. He could have been a stalker, an impersonator, or any yahoo off the street. Trump was just shot. You can't have random people lunging at cabinet secretaries.
I had to get more coffee.
These are the people who say no one's above the law. They arrested Trump 4 times and charged him with 94 crimes.
Yep.
But they think being pushed out of a room crossed a line? Come on. Anyone else would have been treated the same way. Police were just doing their jobs and removing a protester, and now Democrats want to hold hearings.
Will you commit on the record to subpoenaing Kristi Noem because a U.S. senator was just thrown to the ground and detained in his own
Democrats can't follow the rules, can't follow the law, can't follow the rules.
Shut up.
Just shut up.
No, you don't. No, you're not going to tell me to shut up.
How do you get him in order? You're running for
not like that.
He has been out of order 6 times. He's trying to get on MSNBC. You probably knocked.
I get it.
Somebody off MSNBC to get on there.
I think because he's been arrested as a former Antifa member, right?
Back to order, Ms. Green. Go.
He's a former Antifa member, Mr. Chairman.
You got
it. No surprise.
Who's a former Antifa member? Me?
Yeah, you.
Now, we don't know what was in the water in D.C. today, but Bobby Kennedy should test it. Padilla is trying to act tough for his base, raise money, and get handcuffed so he can call Trump Mussolini. They'll spit this clip out, and the media's going to run with it, but it's not going to get any traction. No one takes these people seriously anymore. The man looks like Code Pink, and men should never act like that. Lunging at women, screaming hysterically, close to tears. Get a hold of yourself, Senator. You're a member of the world's greatest deliberative body. You're supposed to move the country through soaring oratory and eloquent speeches. Or you write laws. That's literally your job, to write laws. He's gone loco. Tampon, JB Back Ribs, and Hochul were all on Capitol Hill begging for Homan to arrest him.
If Tom Homan comes to Albany to arrest me, I'll say, go for it.
If Tom Homan were to come to try to arrest us, I can say, first of all, that he can try.
Democrats say Trump has an enemies list, but they're all begging to get on it. Who begs to get on a dictator's hit list? Exactly. They don't really think he's a dictator. They just want to pretend to be human shields for illegals. Tampon says we just don't know history.
I don't call federal law enforcement officers Gestapo. You were recently quoted. Where's the apology?
Donald Trump.
Oh, no, Donald Trump didn't. Listen, Donald Trump's not here.
Yeah.
You are, Governor.
Yeah.
You're a big boy. Put your big boy pants on.
I would ask, don't wear masks. Identify who you are. Don't pull up an
Governor, you called them Gestapo. Will you apologize for that?
And don't pull people.
Will you apologize for that?
Congressman, my job, I'm a history teacher.
Okay, so you won't.
Democrats called the LA riots the Mexican-American War, then changed it to the Civil War, and now they're saying it's actually World War II. And LA is just like the beaches of Normandy.
When you compare the old films of the Gestapo grabbing people off the streets of Poland, and you compare them to those
wild statement.
nondescript thugs who grabbed that student, that graduated student, it does look like a Gestapo operation. It does look like the Gestapo. You know, my dad served in the Second World War. He fought the Nazis in Northern Africa. He fought the Nazis on the Italian peninsula. And I think he's looking down right now and he's happy that I'm fighting today's Nazis.
One Democrat can't decide whether to call ICE Nazis or slave catchers.
These psychos.
If we just roll this clock on the wall back 75 years, we'd be looking at a time in Nazi Germany where people ran around with signs like this new ICE sign that says, report all foreign invaders to ICE, with Uncle Sam there holding up the sign. This could have been a Gestapo member 75 years ago, report all Jews. 100 years before that, it could be a plantation owner that said, report all Negroes and all coloreds and all those who are from Africa, because they are disrupting our country. So let's not get it twisted here.
Do Democrats have anything else to say besides racist Nazi?
Exactly.
If I go on Fox, both shows, and call everyone racist Nazis day after day after day,
it's exhausting.
You'd think I'd lost my mind. I'd probably get fired. Homeless guys talk like this. Do Democrats have Tourette's? Nazi, racist, Nazi, racist. They're not even making any sense. They say they only want to deport the criminals, but then they won't hold them in their jails when they get arrested. They release them before ICE can show up. Democrats don't even know who they have in their own states. Hochul just found out she's protecting a rapist.
Do you know who Sakir Khan is? You should, as the governor of New York State. Do you know?
Refresh my recollection.
He was an illegal migrant in New York. And do you know what crime he committed in addition to being here illegally?
No, I do not.
You do not. This was widely reported. He found a 15-year-old girl, threatened her with a metal pole, told her to get into the back seat of his car. He took her clothes off, and he violently raped her in Albany, New York.
Albany's the capital. It's where the governor lives and works, and she's never heard of this case. Jazzy Crockett says, who cares about migrant rapists? She only wants to talk about one thing.
They love to cherry pick. They can find, any one person that has been killed. And if they've been killed by an immigrant, then God darn it, every single immigrant is going out and they are killers. And that is the problem. But they don't want to talk about white supremacy.
We don't want to talk about white supremacy? It's all we've been talking about. Remember, working out's white supremacy. Being on time is white supremacy.
We covered that.
Merit is white supremacy.
Yep.
The Redskins logo, white supremacy. And not admitting you're a white supremacist means you're a white supremacist. LA Mayor Karen Bass says she's okay with a few migrant killers on the loose because she just needs a babysitter.
We'll feel it in the construction industry. We'll feel it in hospitality. We'll feel it at grocery stores. People will begin to notice. You think about the mothers who have nannies and housekeepers. They will feel it when there's nobody to do childcare and there's nobody to take their kids to school. You will feel it when your gardener goes away and you don't know where he or she is.
Oh my gosh, my garden. Who's going to water it? There are over 300 million people in this country. I don't think I'll ever be able to find anybody who knows how to use a hose. So Democrats are letting their cities burn, their stores get looted, and they're lunging at federal officials just so they can keep their housekeepers, gardeners, and babysitters. They're calling ICE the Gestapo and Trump a king because they want their berries picked.
No Kings protests planned across the country on Saturday as well. What are your thoughts on those?
What do they call no kings?
No Kings.
I don't feel like a king. I have to go through hell to get stuff approved. A king would say, I'm not going to get this. A king would have never had the California mandate to even be talking to him. He wouldn't have to call up Mike Johnson and Thune and say, fellas, you got to pull this off, and after years we get it done. No, we're not a king. We're not a king at all.
A king would have Senator Padilla thrown in a dungeon. But he's not in a dungeon. He sat down with the secretary for a while, and then he held a press conference, and then he went on CNN and MSNBC. If Trump's a king, he's doing a terrible job. Click here.
That was a really good clip. Shout out to Jeff, longtime supporter, also moderator. Thank you for sending that to us. So again, if you guys want to send stuff to me, toss me on X. My goal is to try to get a Discord up and running, and then you guys can post clips and videos and stuff you want me to show on the show on there as well. And so I'll get kind of that stuff set up. But for now, just send me a message over on X, and I can look at it, and then we could pop it into the show. So again, you guys can help me do research by throwing stuff in the chat. So shout out again to Jeff for sending that over. And I might as well plug a couple other things. Again, if you want to follow me on TikTok, I'm not going anywhere yet, but if you want to follow me on TikTok, again, we have videos that blow up. We got how many views was this yesterday? 600. We had about 650,000 views yesterday on TikTok. So, we're making a splash over there, and a big old splash over there. Consistently we're getting, a lot of views. So shout out to everybody over. Follow me at TikTok. If you see me post a video, if you could spam the comment section, and it does actually work on the algorithm over there. You can basically start a fire by just commenting. So appreciate all of you that always support me. It's always nice to have you guys by my side. Here's an update on Israel for you. I told you when stuff comes in, I'll make sure that I toss it at you. So this is as of 10 minutes ago. IDF Home Front Command. Let me click on this really quick. IDF Home Front Command, in coordination with Israel's chief rabbis, all synagogue services are suspended over Shabbat. Public gatherings are also prohibited. These steps are critical to managing the current threat. The IDF will aim to provide approximately 10 minutes of advance warning before red alert sirens, which probably tells me something's coming in hot from Iran, but we've been saying that since last night. So again, we will see. What else do we have here in the news? Donald Trump has stripped legal status from over 500,000 migrants, tells them to self-deport. Hundreds of thousands of migrants who were paroled into the country by the Biden administration were informed Thursday that their legal status and work authorization has officially been revoked and are now being encouraged to self-deport back to their countries of origin. The Department of Homeland Security began notifying many of the more than 530,000 migrants from Cuba, Venezuela, Haiti, and Nicaragua that their parole has been formally revoked as of Thursday. Now, I believe Joe Biden allowed in about 10% of the population of Haiti into our country without even, again, this is without even checks of like, hey, do you want to assimilate here? Do you actually value? Do you want to do the American dream? They didn't check for any of that. That is a massive problem in this country. Again, entire nations throughout history have fallen by doing this exact same thing. This is what's happening over there in Europe. This is why Europe is getting destroyed from the inside out in the same way we are, is because we allowed mass migration. We didn't do our checks on all these people. There's sleeper cells in this country. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. By the way, I can mow my own damn lawn. I don't need somebody else to do it for me. Ridiculous. Jedi Thoughts says, are always and have always been Nazis. Okay. Appreciate that. Krager says, Joker mouth, rather. Trump's the best. Shayla says, my favorite part of all of this is when a non-immigrant tries to tell an actual immigrant how things are here and then get mad when we don't agree with them and somehow we're the bad guys. Exactly. Nailed it perfectly. It's really wild. You can't even wrap your head around it. Can't wrap your head around it. Pat says, follow Brad on X. Link is in the description. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. God bless you for all your support. Another shout out to a longtime patriot and a moderator over on YouTube. Thank you. George says, Europe decided to piss up a rope. Hopefully we don't end up like them. I think we kind of almost already are, man, depending on what we're seeing. Remember, we covered yesterday how they're also having protests over there as well. Some of the differences is that their protests are because their government is not enforcing immigration laws. Ours is the reverse. Our people over here are getting, our people in air quotes, are getting pissed off that we are enforcing the laws. And then over there, they're protesting because they're not enforcing the laws. Now, I don't care which side of the coin you're on. I just don't think we need to be burning down stuff. If you want to see a way to do things, from my understanding, God, I'm really reaching back in my memory. You guys remember the Tea Party? We had the Tea Party back in the day. They used to do protests so well that they would clean up trash after their protests. The Tea Party. Y'all remember those. Y'all remember those guys. They allowed more than, where are we at? They allowed more than 500,000 poorly vetted aliens from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela and their immediate family members to enter the United States through these disastrous parolee programs. She added that the Biden administration granted them opportunities to compete for American jobs and undercut American workers, forced career civil servants to promote the programs even when fraud was identified, and then blamed Republicans in Congress for the chaos that ensued and the crime that followed. So you're not even committing any crime. You're down the street buying a hot dog. This Democrat goes and raids somebody's house and commits all this crime, and then they blame it on you down the street ordering a hot dog. You don't even know what the hell's going on. That's how they roll. So they create chaos, and then they blame somebody else for the chaos that they created. It's freaking wild thinking. It really is. And Shayla tapped into that wild thinking in that comment as well from these psychos over on the Democrat side of the aisle, these progressive lefties. And it drives you up a wall. It really does. They're gonna commit all this crime and chaos, and then they're gonna lecture us and tell us that we did something of which we never did on the very thing that they actually did. Man, it riles you up. President Donald Trump also railed against the Biden administration's immigration policies, and encouraged illegal aliens to self-deport. Biden let in 21 million unvetted illegal aliens flood into our country from some of the most dangerous and dysfunctional nations on earth. 100% correct. Many of them rapists, murderers, and terrorists. Correct. But again, I mentioned this and I will continue to do so. Democrats love this stuff. They love the crime. They love the rape. They love terrorism. They support terrorism. They were giving the Taliban $40 to $80 million a week. We covered it. That's why we made it in Legends video clip on X, who's on the Sean Ryan podcast. We're going to. We have to. We're a small channel, but we make a big splash here. So we're going to show it to you. Only because I think it's really cool that we made it. Shout out to Kreger. I think it was Kreger who showed us the clip itself. But
funding U.S. taxpayer money through the
sending $40 million a week. Stop giving our money to freaking terrorist organizations.
$40 million a week.
So again, that's Legend. Here's Sean Ryan. We all know who Sean is. Shout out to Sean who lets us use his content. This is his podcast, and this is Legend on his podcast. Now, Legend currently has 62,000 followers on X, and he's being followed by major people. We are in a video clip with all the senators. We're in a video clip with the president of the United States. We're in a video clip with Sean Ryan, all these mega people. Us, a small channel, we're there, and it's all thanks to you guys for making a splash. But those are terrorists in here, and Joe Biden gave them money. He also gave the Iranians $10 billion with a B of humanitarian aid. Gotcha. Of fungible money. And then they're going to tell us, oh, they can't spend it on stuff like terrorism. My ass. Give me a break. You let terrorists come into the country, run roughshod over everybody. Ridiculous. Dude, I'm keeping it. I'm doing a good job. I'm not losing it. I know you guys love the rants. I mean, you guys egg me on to do the rants. I'm keeping it calm. So the formal revocation of parolee status for more than 500,000 migrants comes a week after the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Trump administration, noting that it was within the president's power to modify the status of migrants. So again, one of the things I think Donald Trump has been doing is putting forth a lot of orders to kind of see what sticks. I mean, he himself is throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what's allowed and what isn't. So we have here more breaking news regarding the Iran-Israel conflict. I guess there's a bunch of Iranian dissidents cheer Israeli attack. Bibi is spot on. We share the same enemy. So this is kind of interesting. Iranians opposed to the tyrannical, theocratic Iranian regime cheered the Israeli attack on Thursday night. Wow. Israel struck a nuclear facility and defense system, which you covered. So I guess you got this individual here saying Bibi is spot on. We are sharing the same enemy. The Islamic Republic's nuclear program must be stopped. Otherwise, a nuclear war would start by this regime soon, and Iranian people would lose any chance of freeing Iran. So this could be very much propaganda. I'm not going to read too much into it. But another Iranian dissident echoed regarding the reported deaths of Iranian military. I received countless messages from Iranians celebrating the death of their leadership over there. So again, mind you, this is from the Daily Wire, so they're very one-sided. So take that for whatever it's worth. I think it's always important to know people's biases. I obviously have a huge bias for conservatism and the Republican Party and Donald Trump. And clearly the way I look, right, with the beard and just the nice body, right? Like I look like do I not look like a Republican guy? If you looked at me or walking down the street, I know a lot of you would say, damn, but I look like, I think I would like to imagine that I look like the generic, oh yeah, that guy's a Republican. Yeah, that guy loves America. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're like, no, Brad, you look gay. Oh, shut up. I'll be hit on a gay guy before. I've been hit on a gay guy before. Which is flattering, but also really weird at the same time. You've never been hit on by a gay guy before. It is, you're trying to read it a little bit, you know, because they're trying to read you to see if you're gay, and you're like, you could tell that they're gay. And you're like, I don't know what you're doing. And then you're like, it's just a very weird situation. And I'm not good at social cues in the sense of like, I don't know when I'm being hit on, even by women. I'm like one of those idiots that's like at the bar, you know, I'm sitting there and, you know, woman's clearly probably hitting on me and I have no idea. And I'm just completely dumbfounded. And the guy's like, dude, that chick's like really hitting on you. And you're like, what? Really? I thought she was just talking about work. Like, that's the type of guy I am. I'm oblivious to stuff. No, I don't have Asperger's. Okay. Stop it. Stop it. Don't you come at me, you animals. All right. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button. We're not going anywhere, folks. But if you're enjoying what you're seeing, again, please support us by hitting that like button, that thumbs up. It looks like this. U.S. Navy shifts guided missile destroyers after Israel. So now we're getting involved here. This is always fun. So here we go. This is a live update. This is 10 minutes ago, you guys. That's how updates I'm giving you. How updates, whatever the hell that means. U.S. Navy shifts guided missile destroyer after Israeli strikes on Iran. Iran. Following Israel's preemptive attack on Iran, the Navy directed the guided missile destroyer USS Thomas Hutner to begin sailing toward the eastern Mediterranean and has directed a second destroyer to begin moving closer to Israel as well. This echoes a move the U.S. made in April 2024 after Iran shot ballistic missiles at Israel. At the time, the USS Carney and the Burke shot down the missiles. I remember those flying in. They took them out. Remember when Iran launched 100 drones about 12 hours ago, Israel and the Jordanians intercepted those. So again, much of the world voiced concern Friday following Israel's early morning strike over 100 targets. Iran responded with a drone attack, and that was thwarted. So again, it looks like the Jordanians are getting into the mix as well. So we'll keep you updated again on any updates that's happening with all of that. So you have a high budget request to join anti-ICE riots exposed by firm as probe begins. So anti-ICE riots. So an investigation is underway into who is funding all of this. And that is one of the questions we all had as well. You follow the money. Dan Bongino has a great book called Follow the Money. If you're ever curious on that one, that is worth the read, by the way. Little spiderwebby. It's a little tough to follow because there's a lot of players in following the money, as anything else happens when people do shady shit. But phenomenal book. Again, that's Dan Bongino's book, Follow the Money. Very good read. So an investigation is underway into who is funding anti-immigration and customs enforcement riots, disrupting Los Angeles and other major U.S. cities after a major company revealed it had received requests for help. Crowds on Demand, a California-based company that specializes in providing on-demand crowds for protests, told Fox News Digital it received numerous high-budget requests to get involved with anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles and other cities, but declined to participate. A company spokesperson said it declined to get involved in what is happening in Los Angeles because it did, quote, not want to get close to any form of illegal activity, including violence, vandalism, or blocking off roads without a permit. Quote, we receive inquiries regarding practically every major social cause imaginable. And the anti-ICE demonstrations are no exception. The fact that we receive requests does not mean we take them, in many cases because the budget does not match the ambition. The company added it only takes on impactful common sense causes, both from liberals and conservatives, but always represents the common sense position. Even organizing peaceful demonstrators around this issue, anti-ICE, could put those demonstrators at risk due to the presence of violent agitators and the difficulty for law enforcement to distinguish between peaceful and violent activists. But hold on a second. What's the problem? I was told that there was no violence. I was told these are all peaceful. And remember, I asked the question, hey, if it's so peaceful, why do you need a curfew? Still haven't got an answer. By the way, that video has like 30,000 views. Still no answer. The answer I've gotten, they gave me an answer, just not an answer to the question that I asked. It works out that way. You want to know why it works out that way? Is because in education, and this has been going on for 20 years. In education, you don't have to actually answer the prompt anymore. We're just blowing away the fact that you wrote something down. That's how low the bar is now in education. We don't need you to actually answer the question itself that we proposed. We just need you to put something down. And so that's why you get these people that have grown up into adults that go on TV or anything else, and they don't actually answer the question that was proposed. They just give you some sort of answer, and they go, well, I answered your question. Yes, you gave me an answer to a question I never asked, but how about you answer the question that I did ask? But because they went their entire life with getting credit for just spewing some nonsense, that's good enough for them. So when you ask them a question, they just blame Donald Trump about this issue. That's the answer they give you. Well, Orange Badman is in the Oval Office 3,000 miles away, and he's the one that's torching Adidas store. He's the one that's looting the Nike store. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's looting Apple. Yeah, he's burning these dumpsters and all these self-driving taxi cabs. Gotcha. It's Donald Trump's fault. Yeah, he's the one lighting the match. Gotcha, you idiots. We're not here to negotiate with criminals, break the law, attack our agents. You will be arrested, prosecuted, and held accountable. No exceptions, the agency vowed in a statement. Good. Josh Hawley, the chairman of the Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime and Terrorism, shared that the committee is sending letters to multiple organizations believed to be behind the funding. Take them all out. I was stoked. I reposted this on X yesterday. I was super stoked to see this because finally somebody's taking the initiative here to follow the money. Now, will anything happen? I'm not so sure. I'm not sure. Nothing's happened. Nothing's really happened. They're throwing some people in jail, but you're not even really seeing any follow-up. These people that are being apprehended at these riots, is anything really happening to them? Do we even know if they're being charged with anything? Or are they just saying that? Or if it's like, hey, we're going to handcuff you, we're going to put you on the bus, and then we're going to drop you off somewhere else and go home. If you go home, we're not going to write you up for anything. Is that what's going on? I don't know. Does anybody else know? I haven't seen any reports of like, oh, this individual has been apprehended for this crime and has been locked in the brig or whatever it is. Seen nothing. I've seen a lot of talk. Hawley's letter noted that credible reporting has indicated the organization has provided logistical support and financial resources to individuals engaged in these disruptive actions. Let me be clear. Bankrolling civil unrest is not protected speech. Neither is committing or shouting any sort of violence towards somebody either, but that's what they're doing. Everybody that is saying, I'm going to kill your family to police officers, that's against the law, by the way. Yeah, that's a threat. That's against the law. You should be arrested for shouting stuff like that. Every single person that's saying, I'm going to harm you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to do something to you that's violent, yeah, needs to be arrested. Yeah, that's not free. That's not protected on free speech. You don't get to make threats like that. That doesn't work out that way. Yeah. But we got to let it go because Karen Bass says, oh, you can't do anything about it. So you get to harass these police officers that are just doing their job. That might be on your side, by the way, which is a remarkable thing. Probably not anymore after this whole event. But, Yeah, we just gotta let it happen. It's fine. It's peaceful. Yeah, it's peaceful to shout death threats at somebody. No, it's not. It's somebody that's gotten them before because you have these psycho nut jobs online. These keyboard warriors. Yeah, no, it doesn't work out that way. It's not a thing. You must immediately cease and desist any further involvement in the organization, funding, or promotion of these unlawful activities. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, immediately do it. But the fact that you already know that they were doing it, how about you take them down? Let's do that, Howley. Let's a little less talk, a little bit more walk, you know? You have this here. Kylie also questioned who was behind the funding for the rioters and suggested that Gavin Newsom's motive may be a conflict of interest. The nonprofit behind the LA riots donated $500,000 to support Newsom's campaign. Again, the nonprofit that's behind the riots donated $500,000 to Newsom's campaign. It then received $34 million in state funding. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of conflict of interest here. Gee, could our own governor be help funding this? Could we be funding this as a state? It almost seems like it. There's a nonprofit that's behind the riots, and they just somehow received $34 million in state funding. Gee, could that be where all these pallets of boulders and cinder blocks are coming from? Maybe. Again, I'm just speculating. They're just questions. Literally just questions. Makes you wonder where all this stuff's coming from. Gee, I don't know. Maybe that's a lot of money. 34 million. Gee, where are all these people coming from all of a sudden? Where are they getting these tactical gear, these helmets from? But I'm sure it's just all a coincidence, isn't it? Yeah, it's always with Gavin. It's just a coincidence, huh? Yeah, the money just wound up in somebody else's pocket. Yeah, he does the same crap for homeless. Unbelievable. Kylie also shared with Fox News Digital that Shirla has reportedly also sponsored a campaign to abolish ICE in the past. Oh, so there's the receipts for you. There's the receipts. Yep. Mm-hmm. Lovely. Just lovely. So Gavin Newsom could be totally complicit in this whole thing. Wouldn't it surprise me? George Soros' funding absolutely would not surprise me either. They're doxing the ICE agents. Again, doesn't surprise me either. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries was on the floor saying, I'm gonna reveal who these ICE agents are and their families. Oh, that's lovely. Cool. Throw the kids into the mix. Gotcha. So you get to destroy their family and commit harm against them and their kids and be fearful, but you're going to complain about the ICE doing the exact same thing. Gotcha. Okay. No hypocrisy there. Not a mere insight. The NGO known as Shirla was centrally involved in the LA riots. The organization, which has previously sponsored a campaign to abolish ICE, alerted the rioters to where ICE operations were occurring in real time. The agitators would then show up and disrupt ICE activities, including through the use of violence. This group is a major campaign contributor to Gavin Newsom and has received $34 million in state funding. An investigation is absolutely appropriate and necessary. Yes, we're all asking for this. I don't think there's a single person. We got hundreds of people watching right now. I don't think there's a single person that doesn't want an answer to this. We're all jumping up and down, doing jumping jacks, saying, yes, please. Hello, yes. And these idiots in Congress, do you think these people might want to know where their money's going? Of course we do. This group is a major campaign contributor to Gavin Newsom. IRS records obtained by Fox News show that they received $34 million, including $3 from former President Joe Biden's administration as well. Oh, $750,000 from Joe Biden's administration. It's weird how it's all coming from Democrats, isn't it? But don't worry, they're for the little guy. They're for the American worker. You're for everybody else is what you're for. It almost appears, it almost seems that the Democrat Party has been infiltrated by these progressive lefties that don't care two bleeps about this country and want to destroy it from the inside out. That's what it seems like. I'm not sure anybody in the chat or on social media would really disagree with me other than Democrats, of course. What does it even mean to be Democrat anymore? That's my question. Because it sure in hell seems anti-American. That's what it seems like. And they say the same thing about us, which is mind-blowing. As we're trying to protect Americans, we're not the ones burning the American flag. We're not the ones out there in the streets burning down the American flag, are we, patriots? No, it seems to be a common theme that there's one party that burns the American flag and then raises up another country's flag. You know what you do that? You know what you do that for? You know when you do that? When you want to try to conquer something. That's when you start waving somebody else's fucking flag. When you start raising up somebody's flag and burning the other, that's called you're trying to conquer. You're trying to take over. Yeah, real interesting, huh? It's one party that seems to be doing that. There's one party that seems to wear some other country's flags consistently as a pin on their chest. Gee, when did we most see that? With Ukraine. With Ukraine. It's amazing that they wear other countries' flags on their chest more than they wear the American flag. They wave some other country's flag as a Democrat party more than the American flag. But don't worry, they're for you guys. Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna be in Congress going what's on behalf of their representatives. Sure they are. Seems to be a common theme that you're constantly going for somebody else's stuff, sending millions of our dollars over to other countries for condoms in Mozambique, 59 million, millions of dollars for Sesame Street in Iraq. God, it drives me up a wall. Drives me up a wall. Let me see if there's any updates for you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Do you sell gum? What the hell's going on? I always jump in at the oddest moments in the chats, which is always fun because you guys engage with one another, which I absolutely love here. We have the best community, and I will continue to say that. And yes, I will brag about it. We have the best community here. So here's some updates from Philip Wegman, who we love here on the show. He says the CCP spokesman, China opposes actions that violate Iran's sovereignty. Uh-oh. Is China going to get in the mix? China is closely following Israel's attacks on Iran and is deeply concerned about the potential grave consequences of the operations. China opposes actions that violate Iran's sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity, and opposes moves that escalate tensions or enlarge conflicts. Well, I mean, you could have told Iran not to have nuclear warheads if you're so concerned about it. Oh, well, that's too insane. I'm so sorry. It's too wild of me. I know. Calm down, Brad. Calm down. You're speaking too much logic and reason. China getting in, telling Iran, hey, maybe pull off on the nukes. Yeah, okay. That's silly. It's silly talk. I know it's wild to tell another country that's the leading sponsor of terrorism, hey, we're not going to let you have nukes. It's crazy. I know it's silly. Oh, must be on something, Brad. The abrupt heating up of the region serves no one's interest. China calls on relevant parties to choose the course of action that is conducive to the region's peace and stability and avoid further escalation of tensions. China stands ready to play a constructive role in helping ease the situation. Where you been for 60 days, assholes? Where you been? Where you been for 60 days that this has been going on? Huh? Yeah. Oh, now people got their shit pushed in. Oh, we're here. Okay, we're ready. Yeah. You're always late to the party, aren't you? Always late to the party. Once the party's already started, then you want to show up. Yep, now you want involvement, don't you? Sarah Adams is popping off here. I'm not cheering for anyone, but I can see how someone from the CIA, the same agency responsible for overthrowing Iran in 1953 on behalf of British Petroleum, which contributed to Iranian regime change in 1979, would support further action in the Middle East. So Sarah, she's such a badass, dude. This woman is such a badass. She says, cry more, bitch. God, I love her, dude. I'm liking that. She's great. She is great. Do you think she would come on the show? You think Sarah would come on the show if I hit her up, if I messaged her? Can we just drool over how great Sarah is? She's a badass, man. So here's what she posted 7 hours ago. My Israeli military sources confirm significant damage has been inflicted on Iran's nuclear facility. So that's what it looked like. Is there before and after? What do we got here? So that place is all kaboom boom. It's gone. They're all gone. I guess this is what some of it looks like. I mean, you could tell that it's very strategic. I mean, look, they didn't even touch this area over here. It's like, boom, we're going to hit that. We're going to hit that. Boom, 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 boom. So you could tell, yeah, this is, I'll be honest. I thought there would have been a bigger bomb that would just like blow a hole in this whole area right here. That's what I thought would have happened. But what do I know? I was never in the military. I don't know how big these things are. I don't know anything. I'm just an idiot with a microphone that people listen to for some reason. Yeah. All righty. Let me just double check one more thing here really quick, folks. Let's tap into Benny's show really quick. I just want to take a little peeky at what he's covering here.
The California Medal of Freedom.
Yeah, exactly. We need that.
And that's the first recipient. You're right there. Wasn't that a beautiful moment? This is what I mean. There's a spirit here in California that isn't quite extinguished.
Yes.
And we're going to relight that fire and save our beautiful state.
Thank God. And as governor, you would work with President Trump on deportations.
100%, of course.
Yeah, well, good luck trying to get Gavin Newsom out, man. We already tried that. We've been down that road. It ain't working out. The Democrats love this stuff too much. And I'm a firm belief, man, that they got so many illegals voting in this state. There's just no way in hell Gavin stays in doing that bad. Maybe I just have too much faith in the people in the state. I just don't think people are that. There's just no way people can be that stupid. I just don't see it. It's. I know I'm stuttering, man. I'm trying to process this, you guys. It's just I talk with people. I'm like, okay, you're not that dumb. Like, you're pretty well educated. So what are we doing here voting for Gavin? What are we doing? So this is breaking right now. Of the somebody posted, I think it was Pat. The usual suspects. The usual suspects are back, man. And do you think it's the Democrats or the Republicans that are salivating over Iran? Who do you think? Who do you think's in support of Iran here and hates Israel? Do you think it's the squad? Do you think it's Rashida Tlaib? Do you think it might be Ilhan Omar? Because you would be right. Democrat lawmakers, leftists seethe as Israel wipes out Iranian nuclear facility military leaders. So here they are. Here we go, folks. Here's your updates. Numerous Democrats decried Israel's Thursday night attack on Iran. As the American ally destroyed one of the radical Islamic regime's nuclear facilities and killed some of the top military leaders. After Israel conducted airstrikes in Iran, many leftists claimed Israel was taking immoral actions and pursuing dangerous escalation with the Iranian regime. But we can't point towards you can't put blame on both sides. You can't do it. Oh, it's terrible. It's just terrible. With the Iranian regime, a state sponsor of terrorism that funds violent groups such as Hamas and Hezbollah, which seek Israel's destruction. Quote, the Israel government bombing Iran is a dangerous escalation that could lead to regional war. That comes from Rashida Tlaib. A member of the squad, war criminal Netanyahu, will do anything to maintain his grip on power. We cannot let him drag our country into a war with Iran. Our government must stop funding and suggesting this rogue genocidal regime. Do you think she's a little biased? You think she's a little Jew hater? She's not totally wrong, I want to point out. She's obviously not totally wrong. But again, how about we play both sides of the coin saying, hey, how about Iran stop nukes? If you don't stop, you're going to get your shit pushed in. I mean, how many warnings do you need to give somebody? And this is the problem, and I've talked about this problem many times in our culture here. Many times. We've gone decades by establishing a culture where there's no real consequences. And when there's no real consequences, they're always blown away when the consequences happens. And because other countries don't let this shit happen, and they actually have consequences, then you get these grandstanding losers like Rashida Tlaib coming out and trying to, espouse this crap. So I think we'll cut it there. I think we'll cut it there. Why don't we raid somebody today? Appreciate everybody joining the chat. Thank you so much for joining us today. We had a few hundred people watching. That's always great. We're growing. I do believe we're the best morning show. I know people say that all the time, but go find somebody that's better. You let me know. We are the best morning show. Let's see who we can raid here. Let's go to Wendy. I just think Wendy just has a really great show. She's like right up our alley. Krager, I'm gonna toss you a personal message, brother. Okay. I saw the message. I'm gonna toss you a personal one. Appreciate everybody. God bless you. And we're gonna raid Wendy again. God bless you guys. Take care of yourself. See you later.